Hello, can you hear me? I'm not at home, so I'm actually out. And I had to make sure I was set up, okay? If you can hear me, I want to thank you for being patient. It was just a little late. Hello, Jamie. Hello. Hi. Look, I'm getting out more. I'm in public. Can you believe it? Hello, Miss N. TGIF. Hello. And Sean, you're here. Okay, so bear with me. I have to go grab some things. I might take you with me, okay? I'm set up in a coffee shop, okay? So I want to talk about this latest situation with Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish. If you're not familiar with this situation, I will tell you about it. I'm just grabbing some things because I have a better seat, okay? There was a guy who was here. He was set up for quite a while. Like set up like camping out set up, right? So I got a better seat over here. Maybe I'll show you how nice this little spot is. It's a beautiful couple that opened up a new coffee spot in my neighborhood. So let's see if I can give you a little, it's a cute space, right? Let's do a little round and round. And the proprietor, he gave me a complimentary coffee. So I have a mocha. So I'm just going over here. This is where I was camped out first. Okay, so see right here? I was in the corner. So here's my nice mocha. I'm gonna grab it. My napkin. Okay. And then I'll get set up and start. Thank you for the patience. Okay. Sorry for making you dizzy. I'm not trying to be silly, but I got the other seat at the last minute. So it was cool. What's up, everybody? I'll get to saying hi to everybody. Is this good? All right. So who's here? Let's see. You like mocha? So this is fabulous mocha with oat milk. So I have oat milk. Welcome on Facebook. Thank you for joining. If you're joining on Facebook, I can't see you, however, but I will go over to Facebook after and see what you're up to, okay? Hey, Biz Wolfer, how you doing? Thanks for joining. All right, the topic is not pleasant, as you can tell by the title, not pleasant, but needs to be talked about. Because what I'm noticing, hey, Wall Dragon, much love to you. Yes, Karen, greetings. We're outside. I told you, Karen is really, this is the beautiful Harlem Sentinel. Karen is the reason why I want to get out more. It's because of you, my dear sister. Thank you. I love you. Karen is such a blessing to all of us, okay? But she has really said, you say things like you and a lot of you, I listen to you, okay? So keep telling me things. If you have feedback for me, share it, okay? So Karen was saying, get back, into life again, like in terms of traveling, haven't been wanting to travel, but I'm getting out of that and I will want to travel soon. I want to have an event too, want to have a nice event. I will be having a virtual grand opening of my business I've been working on, okay? And I'll tell you more about it, but I want you to save the date, September 10th. And I'll tell you more about it, getting closer to that time. And I'm excited, very excited about the grand opening. Hi, Courtney, how are you? Let's see, T. Witten, hadn't seen you in a bit. How are you doing? And Ann Bailey, Kathy in Arizona. This is great. Hey, Gladys Kravitz and Dimples is here. Joseph is here. Hello, Joseph. Yes, I saw you, Miss N. You were one of the first in. Okay, I want to make sure. Angela, hey, Angela. I got you, Angela. Hey there. And Mr. Oakle. What's up? What's up? Well, I'm in a coffee shop, and I want to get out more, and I'll do my live streaming as I'm out and about. I'm starting to move around, okay? roam. I'm roaming. Okay, let's see. Have I missed anyone? Dave Walker. Hello, Dave. Thanks for joining, okay? Really love it. CWS, blessings to you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so topic again is not a very enjoyable topic. You may be familiar with this one, so I'll jump right in. I'm going to be reading from my phone, and I'm getting this straight from the New York Post. The New York Post, I told you that a lot of us are starting to read the New York Post. I wasn't one that read the New York Post, but now I'm interested in it. Just getting myself situated, sorry. So I'm interested in the New York Post because they seem to be more balanced than a lot of mainstream things in terms of newspapers. If you want to actually use the actual paper, maybe have it delivered, I don't know, but online is good enough. So if you, I like we shared sources on the radio. If you want different sources, one of the, well, two sources that a lot of us like and we can recommend would be WeOn, if you want to look at news that is a foreign news outlet, but they tell you more about what's going on here in this country than we hear normally. So that would be WeOn, that's out of India, and Australian, the Australian news. Can someone drop the Australian one? It's Sky News Australia, I believe. Double check that and fact check me, please, in the chatmosphere, so that we can share some of the sources that we like with people who are just starting to come off of some of that other like propaganda. Now, I'm not going to say that the New York Post is perfect. Of course not. None of them are perfect, right? But like I said, the New York Post has been giving a bit more of a balance, okay? No, I'm not in New York City right now. Hey, Sammy Souls. Hello, you made it? Nice, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful sunrises, you're here. Thank you for joining, sis. Welcome. All right, Sky News, it is called Ann Bailey Sky News. So Sky News Australia, we like them, right? So we can recommend them. Okay, so definitely you saying you agree, CWS. New York Post, definitely more balanced than New York Times, for sure. New York Post is giving, like, they give, it seems like a liberal slant. They allow for both voices and some opposition, if you want to say, more conservative, more constitutional republic. Right? We're not a democracy. And I know that is repeated so much. Hey, Sheridan, welcome. Good afternoon. We are not a democracy. Jojo Magoo, or as I call him, Dark Brandon. You know, he's referred to as Dark Brandon when I don't know what he's doing. Is he going off of script or is he on script? He is such a dark figure. It doesn't even make sense. It's like we're watching a dystopian movie, and he is such a villainous. So he was in Philadelphia, my hometown, giving an address, which was really strange. It was like you could see, I'm doing this before I get into the other, I have to ease into this other story. It's so disturbing. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about that, and I will transition into it. So Dark Brandon, Jojo Magoo. I got that from Paul Romano. Shout out to Paul. So he gave an address out of Philadelphia the other day. Was it yesterday officially, September 1st? Wow. September came in a strange way. Not surprised. And so Dark Brandon, it was weird. It looked like he was in the back of buildings. They look like the buildings that I would see in the historical area of downtown Philadelphia, the brownstones. So you could see the brick facing, and they had lights, red lights, and of course they use red and blue. That's their dichotomy. That's their, controlled opposition. They always want you to go towards one or the other. If you're red or you're blue or you're black or you're white, and you know what I'm saying. So they had the typical lighting, but it was more red. So you saw a lot of that. It's an aggressive color to use. Can we agree? If you study colors, so it had more of a red, and it gave you the feeling of one of those dystopian movies that you see, V for Vendetta. And he was doing his typical, he does this a lot, very dictatorish and antichrist and anything else, but just a lot of this aggression. And they titled his speech that it was for the soul of America. And that's been repeated by Biden a lot. The soul of America. So they're fighting for the soul. And they're letting you know that they are after the soul. This group, Dark Brandon and everything that he stands for, and the Democrats and that whole liberal, progressive, Marxist, communist, socialist, like Nazi. This is Nazism. So he spewed all this vitriol, and this is so sick. It's so weird. This is a president who only focuses on the outgoing president. They always they're always with Trump, Russia, Putin, Trump, Russia. They don't seem like people who have won anything. And when the focus is on the crimes that they're committing, like right there in front of our faces, what do? They project it onto Trump. It's always Trump and the MAGA Republicans. They sound so like, it sounds like, I don't know what to call it anymore. It's unreal what we are witnessing, that people are that sick in the head that they still hate the outgoing guy, that everything is about him. They say his name a million times. He's focused on. He's, they go into his home. They're just focused on him. Meanwhile, our borders are like Swiss cheese. Immigrants are flooding into the cities. I just saw a video of Philadelphia, and it looked like it was one of the train stations, and it looked like a scene from Thriller, okay? Like zombies. The people they're degrading. And here, Dark Brandon was in Philadelphia. What did he do? He did not even address what's going on in Philadelphia. This is a Democratic city, Philadelphia. This has all been done on the Democrats' watch. Philadelphia has been nothing but just Democratic policies. It hasn't been like whatever conservative since Richard, what was his name? Rizzo. It wasn't Richard, but Rizzo. We had a mayor, Rizzo. He was a nightmare from what I remember. But now I probably need to look at, just look at him again. What was he really all about? But I know everybody hated him when I was growing up, Rizzo. So Philadelphia has Kensington. And whatever was going on in this video I just saw looked like a new area of Philadelphia with nothing but people that are in a state of degradation, that they look like they're in a scene from a zombie apocalypse. But meanwhile, Dark Brandon is attacking conservatives and those that like Trump. He wants to just continue to attack. And he's not about unity. He's not about logic, love, nothing. He's a hateful dictator at this point. He's everything that they accuse Trump of, because what they do is they practice projection. And now a lot of us, we have talked about these issues over the last 3 years or more. Some of us have talked about this stuff even longer. because with Hillary Clinton's campaign, he has been involved in her and her husband, Bill, and their Clinton Foundation and what they've done over in Haiti. Okay, so we heard a lot about Epstein Island and the flight logs and various celebrities that were on these flight logs. Now, I'm not going to get into the flight logs. I've talked about the flight logs already. A lot of us have. We're now in a different place in terms of we talked about it, we grieved when we learned about these things, and we were ridiculed, we were deplatformed, people stopped talking to us, people began to hate us because we were speaking the truth about what's happening to children and women, the trafficking that's going on. We tried to talk about this stuff 2-3 years ago, and it fell on deaf ears. But now we are hearing that, and I'm going to talk about this. A lot of celebrities, especially in the music industry, if you want to call it music, because it's not music, but in the rap and whatever this like trap music, this 808 beat that they do now, that 808 demon time music, a lot of the artists are being snatched up right now. You have a rapper named Young Thug. I'll talk about Young Thug. I know a lot of you all don't know these names, but I'm going to introduce you. You know I'm going to introduce you to all the Negrescents and everything, right? You could come here. This is where you learn about the Negrescents, because no one gets a pass. No one gets a pass. Now, I will air out my supposed people, and I'll air out everybody. I don't care, because it's about truth. I'm only loyal to the truth. And I'm only loyal to people who are lawful and orderly and who want to protect children and who want to protect the integrity of our nation. And now you have this guy, Dark Brandon. He's in Philadelphia, of all places, and he's talking about democracy, democracy, democracy. People that keep saying democracy, that's not what they're really talking about. You have to unpack what they mean by democracy. And it's not a good thing. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. Dark Brandon is not an intelligent man. He is a very stupid man. He plagiarized his way up the ladder. He couldn't even run for an office because he was caught plagiarizing. These are cheaters. These are criminals. This is so ironic that people wanted him. They hated Trump that much that they wanted this guy. And look what they got. A man who is so wicked. His son, so wicked. Wait until they find out about him and what his son really does and really has been doing when it comes to women and children. This is supposed to be what these people care about, right? Women all the time. They don't care about children, right? We know that. They want the right to keep ripping them up in the womb. They want the choice, right? It's their right. That's what they want to keep doing. So we know they don't care about children, but they claim to care about women. And we know that that's not real. It's not true. They don't care about anyone. So we were talking about the human trafficking a lot. Again, it fell on deaf ears. So now things are slipping out. Like I said, you have rappers, Young Thug, and another one named, if anybody knows the name of that other rapper. So you have Young Thug and the other one, I can't think of his name, but I'm going to talk about them. They were grabbed up in the Atlanta area. Okay, Atlanta, Georgia is a hotbed for human trafficking. Okay, and what people are not going to want to face is that it's a lot of black celebrities that are involved in the human trafficking. Okay, and it's going to be very disturbing to come face to face with this very inconvenient and ugly truth. It's very ugly, okay? And thank you. I knew I could. Thank you, One Take Son. Gunna. So you have a rapper, Gunna, and Young Thug. Now they are in jail, and a lot of the rap companies, like the labels, they have been involved in crimes for years. We're talking crime where they kill people. A lot of people. I'm using the words. I forget that I'm not on my radio stream, so I can't say certain words. Right? So I'll use unalive. Okay, so the rap labels, they are involved in crime, like high crime, and they're unaliving people. They're like gangs, and the contracts and the things that go on, it's unreal. So Atlanta is filled with a lot of music industry people. It's Black Hollywood, so you have the actors, you have the rappers, and you have the politicians, and they're all in bed with each other in Atlanta. Atlanta is, that's a swamp. That is an absolute swamp. So Young Thug and Gunna are going to lead to a lot of other people. And what's going to happen, and I want you all to pay attention to this, because you may not know about these names, but it does connect to the bigger picture. Everybody knows about Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. We could talk about them because they're big, right? It's a sexier type of topic, right? Because it involves all this like intrigue and international and pilots and G5s and islands, right? But we need to also focus on the folks that are right here, that are involved in human trafficking as well. It may not be on a international scale. It's local, possibly, and interstate, but it is very evil what's happening. So what they're going to do with a lot of people is they're going to be able to get them on what's called RICO charges. Can someone drop RICO? Okay? And I'm not talking about Rico Suave. RICO charges is what brought down the mafia, okay? That's what brought down the mafia. And that's what brings down a lot of groups when they are involved in crime, especially this human trafficking that involves children. And it involves the traveling state to state. The charges are unbelievable that are going to pile up. And anyone that's doing business in the group is involved. That's how RICO works. Okay? And that's how it happens. That's how they're going to get a lot of people. It's similar to how they got some people on tax evasion, right? They either get them on tax evasion, but RICO is like the new effective way to take down, okay, groups at a time. And this is happening all over. It's not being reported a lot because people are distracted. It's so much coming at us. This is the information age. But for those that were paying attention to a lot of the stuff that involved Epstein Island and Ghislaine and all of these people, just know that it has not stopped. The cycle of catching these people. And it's similar to when I was a nurse in Atlanta. I want to explain the RICO thing another time, just another way. Okay, in Atlanta, as soon as it gets warm, you see a lot of people on their motorcycles and they don't have helmets, in Georgia. And so in Atlanta, as soon as it gets nice, you just see the young guys, they're all out on the freeway with the motorcycles, with the, rocket, the powerful bikes. And they're in big groups. And I worked at Grady. So Grady is a level 1 trauma center. So we got a lot of traumas, especially motorcycle accidents. We call motorcycle riders, we call them organ donors. That's the name that we give them. I know it's not nice, but that's an inside kind of thing. And if there's an accident with the guys that are racing the motorcycles, you know, they go in and out of the cars and they're doing this like they're showing off, right? One guy they brought in, he went under a truck. Can you imagine, like his bike literally went under the truck? And I don't want to give the gory details of the condition that he was brought in. He did not live, of course. But everybody that was in the group when this accident happened, every single biker is in trouble. Do you see what I'm saying? Every single one of the group of bikers is now responsible for what happened to that one biker. That's what is happening. So I'm glad you brought that up, Sharon. How were you doing, Sharon? So you're saying R. Kelly, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, DMX, just to name a few. They're all in on this. I won't say the word of children. There you are. And I want to say something about R. Kelly. I don't talk about him a lot because it's just so disturbing. Like, I stopped listening to his music, and I just, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm trying to think of the year, but I lived in LA, and I have a lot of family out there. Some of my cousins were in high school when that tape with the 14, I think she was 14 years old, when that tape was, exposed to the public. Listen to this. My cousins were in high school. A copy of that tape with the 14-year-old girl, I will not talk about what was happening to her, but the tape was copied so many times that in the high schools in Los Angeles, I don't know about other cities, but the tape was circulating throughout the high schools in Los Angeles. So I want you all to just think about that. These are things that people don't realize, that 14-year-old child, she was exposed to the public. She was a child. And this tape was bootleg copied and distributed freely among other children. So now they're looking at what happened to this child, and it's become now viral. That's when people had DVDs, So this is really a lot bigger. And I'm glad Sharon mentioned it, because these are the names that we are going to start seeing attached to the RICO, to the RICOs that are going to bring down so many celebrities. It's going to bring down Hollywood, okay? Everyone that you think is beyond reproach and they're too far, too high, too big, it's no such thing, okay? Just know that God is shaking things up. That's right. What happened to Aaliyah even, don't think that people got away. They did not get away with these things. This is the day of reckoning. And people can laugh and call you a conspiracy theorist all they want. So let me read about Tiffany Haddish, Aries Spears. Now, Aries Spears was just caught up in a scandal where it was weird. Just a few days before this hit, Aries Spears' name is now in the cycle. And he hasn't, been kind of in the cycles like that, but his name came up because he said something about the musician named Lizzo. If you know about her, she plays the flute, and she's a, girthy woman. Well, he was talking about her, being obese and just, saying mean things about her. It's like with Lizzo, it's like open season to talk about her weight. Now, I'm not somebody who wants to promote people having, you know, remember Jillian Michaels couldn't even say that it's unhealthy. They canceled that woman. I haven't heard from her since because she said something about Lizzo. So they protect and promote things that are not healthy. Now, she's a beautiful woman, very talented, but you know I don't like that people always use her as a punching bag. At the same time, it's like, what's going on? Is this like, are we looking at theater like where she's the punching bag, and then why is this guy coming out of nowhere talking about her? And he's not somebody who could even talk. It's like pot meet kettle. Like, how are you talking about her weight? And you look like you're Aries Spears. It's like, what are you doing? So now Aries Spears is connected with Tiffany Haddish. Now, what I want to say about Tiffany Haddish, I don't like a lot of things that she's done in the public. She's been on red carpets and she does a lot of stereotypical, degrading humor, where she was on a red carpet and she was talking about she had fried chicken in her bag as a snack. And it's just like, okay, it's not funny anymore. It's not cute. And she goes too far. She got caught up in some scandal where she was partying with Beyonce and some kind of NDA, and she talked too much. Because when you go to these parties, you're not supposed to talk about the party. But here she is. She's like a newcomer, and she seemed really thirsty to be in the circles of celebrities. And that might be what has caught her up in this trick bag, is that she wanted fame, possibly so bad that she did a lot. Because fame is a soul snatcher. So Tiffany and Aries Spears are accused of grooming and child molestation. Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears have been accused of grooming a 15-year-old girl and her 7-year-old brother, coercing them to film explicit skits, according to a new lawsuit obtained by Page 6, which is the New York Post. The comedians are being sued by the siblings, identified as Jane Doe, now 22, and John Doe, now 14. In the legal docs, Jane, who is also John's legal guardian, is the plaintiff in the lawsuit, both individually and on her minor brother's behalf. Their mother alleges that she and Haddish, 42, met through comedy and developed a close relationship over their respective divorces. We were both going through a divorce, the mother told the Daily Beast, the first outlet to report the news. Messy, 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 messy divorces. We just got really, really super, super close, according to the lawsuit. Haddish called the family for every birthday and every Christmas. In 2013, the same year, Haddish divorced William Stewart after 5 years of marriage. The Girls Trip actress appeared as a guest speaker at a summer camp attended by 14-year-old Jane. Around that time, Haddish allegedly told Jane that she discovered a perfect role for the teen in her very own commercial. According to the suit, neither Jane nor her mother was aware of shoot details, while Haddish and Spears, 47, were said to know the plot. The shoot allegedly involved Haddish teaching Jane how to mimic fellatio for a skit about kids arguing over a sub sandwich. I did say fellatio, okay? I tried to mimic what they wanted me to mimic, but it still came out just super uncomfortable, Jane told the Daily Beast. I knew when I left the booth that I didn't complete what they wanted me to do. Haddish paid Jane $100, the lawsuit claims, before sending her home. Jane told the Daily Beast she didn't initially tell her mother about the alleged incident. I didn't confide to nobody else about how weird I felt at that moment, she said. A year later, Haddish allegedly reached out to the siblings' mother to let her know that she was interested in the younger brother, John, for a Nickelodeon sizzle reel. The suit claims the 7-year-old was emmed by Haddish and Spears while filming what became a disturbing video published via Funny or Die and more online platforms titled Through a Pedo's Eyes. That is the title. A representative for Funny or Die told the Daily Beast in a statement, Funny or Die found this video absolutely disturbing and would never produce such content. We were not involved with the conceptualization, development, funding, or production of this video. It was uploaded to the site as user-generated content and was removed in 2018, immediately after becoming aware of its existence. In a statement to Page 6, Spears' attorney, Deborah Opry, said he isn't going to fall for any shakedown. Haddish's attorney, Andrew Brettler, echoed that the lawsuit is an extortion attempt. Plaintiff's mother, Trisa Morris, has been trying to assert these bogus claims against Miss Haddish for several years, he told Page 6. Every attorney who has initially taken on her case, and there were several, ultimately dropped the matter once it became clear that the claims were meritless and Miss Haddish would not be shaken down, Brettler continued. Now, Miss Morris has her adult daughter representing herself in this lawsuit. The two of them will together face the consequences of pursuing this frivolous action. Both siblings claim they have developed debilitating social disorders. The siblings also say their mother tried to reach a $15,000 settlement with Spears over the alleged Mollis M video. They are suing Haddish and Spears for damages. Okay, so that is one article. This has become very viral on many platforms, but especially the Black sectors of social media. It's a lot of conversation. And if you look at the comment section, and I do suggest that you look at comment sections to see what is the general feeling among the people. Okay, you get at regular people like us. Okay, so you get to see what are they saying and what are you saying. If anybody wants to call in, you let me know. If you want a link, let me know. But I want to look at, people are saying like it's ironic that they're comedians and this is it's so dark, but comedians are also they have a dark side, as we have seen in many comedians that they meet a very tragic end. We could list a lot of them. You could list them right in the chatmosphere. Yeah, $15,000. And Bailey, I thought that was a little strange. I don't know. Maybe it's because the person isn't after money. I don't know. I would expect Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish to deny these claims. Everyone would, right? They're not going to admit to this. I don't know anyone that does. But somebody says, I hope that LA police investigate these horrific allegations. Just reading about them made me physically ill. Now, some people, this is new. They're not hearing, some of these cases, and it's very disturbing. I understand. A lot of us we've gone through our, I don't know what you want to call it, like our grieving season of realizing what people do to children. It's horrible. And I want to tell people, I'm not telling you what to do with your children. Of course, you could put masks on them, but I want people to really think about when they put their children on social media, really, really reconsider it, because there are a lot of sick people and they are shopping around. There was a little girl just last week who was taken out of her bedroom. She was asleep at home, taken out of her bedroom. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I think we should be very cautious about exposing children to social media. Why? Why are your children all over social media? Do you know the times that we live in? If you don't, you have to wake up and come out of Disneyland thinking, this is not the same world that you grew up in, that you could play outside safely. This is not the same world. Be careful with your children. This is a different type of threat. We never dealt with being online. And children, they don't even have the chance to decide, do they want to be online? Can you imagine? Some people have started whole social media, Instagram pages for their children. They're babies. Their babies did not give consent for that. What if they grow up later and they say, why did you expose me? And create a social media page for me as a child. Think about that. Just think about it. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, wake up and stop being so naive to the realities of this world. Stop putting your head in the sand. This is our children. Our children depend on us to protect them and to be aware. So I just want to say, we have to be careful and aware. I don't know the truth of this, but what I do know is that a lot of people, again, are going to go down, and it's going to be RICO charges. A lot of these people in entertainment are involved in this stuff. Atlanta, Georgia is a cesspool of human trafficking. It is. And I'll talk about it more. It needs to be exposed and talked about. Okay? So I just wanted to go live and share that particular thing. I may go live later. I was hoping that maybe Girl Code, maybe she may want to add some of the things that she thinks about this, and anybody else. Maybe I'll do it later. I think the owner of the coffee shop might be cleaning up. So I don't want to be the last person here. So I just want to thank you for joining in. I didn't drop a link yet, but I may just pack up and do another live stream where you can call it in and talk. Okay. Hey, Leisha, how's it going in London? Welcome. Hey, Tinye. Hey, Cold Hard Truth. Yeah, the Hollywood part equals Atlanta. Hollywood wanted to, not pay as much money to film. And so Atlanta lured Hollywood. But, Atlanta, they want to make Atlanta so liberal, And one thing about Georgia as a state, It is not a blue state, as they say. It is more conservative, right? So because of the stance that Georgia took on abortion, a lot of Hollywood, they freaked out. Oh, we're leaving Atlanta because of abortion. They want to just have the full reign to just, so a lot of them supposedly left. It was like, who cares? Go somewhere else. No one wants them. Georgia is my state, I feel, okay? And listen, I know I don't own the state, but I have a say along with other people. We're not impressed with Hollywood. We don't care. Yeah, it brings money in, but look at the other things it brings in. It brings all of that demonic stuff that goes on. It brings it here. We don't want it. So I will shut down right now, and I will let you know if we can continue the conversation. Okay. So thank you again. This was a short live stream, and I would ask you to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment if you have any information about this. I know they're talking about connections to, it's a lot of things that are being speculated. I don't know, but where there is smoke, there is fire. They claim that you should believe victims, right? So if victims are saying that they've been victimized, are we going to just right away say, oh, it's a shakedown, that, it's a this, it's a that? Or are we going to believe victims? What are we going to do? That's all I'm saying. All right. So I'll see you soon. Thank you. All right. Take care. Bye.